Let's start with some tips for wearing a headscarf. So the first thing that I would always suggest is to wear a cap under your scarf. So this is, a nice cotton sort of stretchy cap like this. It doesn't feel too thick or heavy. Does it feel okay on your head, Caitlin?
Yeah, it's nice and soft.
Do you want to could you put that one on? The reason I suggest wearing a cap is because, for two reasons really. The first one is functional. If you have a cap on like this, it gives your scarf something to grip onto so it doesn't keep sliding off. Secondly is aesthetic. So if you have a cap like this, you could wear a different colored scarf and then you can have two tones happening. Caitlin obviously looks amazing in everything, but you don't have to show it if you don't want to. So I'm wearing a cap under my scarf at the moment. You can't see it, so you can pull it back, but it's there if you want to have the two tones. But the cap is really your trick to your scarf not constantly sliding off your head. The next thing I would suggest is the fabric that you choose for your scarf. Silks and satins are beautiful. They look amazing. I've seen Caitlin wearing a beautiful silky satiny scarf. The only tricky thing with them is that they can slide off quite easily. So again, this is when your cap's really important, and I would even suggest using some pins to keep that in place, which I'll mention. Cotton is really nice, especially in the summer because it's not too thick. The trick is, I think, just try lots of different fabrics and see what's most comfortable for you. See what feels nice around your head, not too hot, not too cold, what sits nicely. A lot of people ask me is, where do I buy my scarves? Where do you buy your scarves from?
Usually if I see them at the shops, just pretty much anywhere.
Right, exactly. So scarves are really in at the moment, which is very handy. So I buy my scarves at Kmart, at Big W, at Maya, Sports Girl, Witchery. You can get them anywhere. So whenever you go into any of those shops, have a look in the accessory section and have a look at the scarves. See if they look like the kind of fabric that would be nice for you, the right size, the color that might work for you. And that's another tip that I would give you is the color that looks nice on your clothes is not necessarily the color that looks nice around your face. The trick is when you go into the shops and you see a scarf you like, hold it up to your face and see how it looks against your actual skin on your face. And if it doesn't suit you, one way around it, if you still really want to buy that scarf, wear a cap of a different color underneath and then you can sort of get away with it. The last thing I will just mention is pins. Pins can be your best friend when you wear a headscarf because it keeps everything in place. It's horrible feeling like your scarf's constantly falling off. It's going to blow away in the wind. These sort of pins, dressmaker pins, are really useful because they've got a nice big head at the end so it will stop it sliding through your scarf. Safety pins are obviously really useful just to keep it in place. I'll show you in the design we use. The only problem with safety pins can be that they will snag some scarves and you will get holes in them. So for that reason, I often use oval pins like this because they won't snag your scarf in the same way. They're almost like nappy pins. You can get them from $2 shops and those sort of places. It'll just protect your scarf. And if you've got a favorite scarf, it's nice to protect that. And the last thing that's really handy to use are these sort of flat dressmaker pins. If you want to keep your scarf in place but you don't want people to see the pins, these ones will just hide. And I'll show you when we do the design the way you can use the pins. Shall we begin the scarf styling process? All right, good. Let's do this.